Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalam ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursaleen wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Allahumma infa'ni bima 'allamtani wa 'allimni ma yanfa'uni wa zidni ilman. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. Rabbi ishrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa ahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So, welcome all of you. So today's session has two kinds of students. One, those attended the previous 1 week and studying the Surah, and if they are present today, and I see most of them are present today, they will really enjoy this surah, because whatever they studied in the Surah, they are going to see how it gets applied in the study of the surah. And of course, our usual regular students, they are of course quite ahead in the studies, most of them. So yeah, they will also have a good time. And those people who are joining for the first time, even though this is not a usual study of the surah that we usually do, like we read tafasirs, we read word for word, we read translations, we read history. It is a bit of everything, but the focus is on the language, which is rarely does it happen that you see a surah being discussed with respect to language, unless you hear to particular specific scholars, those who are passionate about it, and they always do explain the surah with you. So if you study with those scholars, yes, you will see this aspect. But otherwise, generally speaking, this aspect is not touched at all. It is something that's kind of a vacuum that needs to be filled in, because of course, I would be biased in saying that, because we are from the field of studying the linguistic, so we tend to be biased. But that being biased is not without justification. That you will see for yourself. That language is something. Now, forget about Arabic. We use whatever language we use every day in communication. Don't we have that power to use that language in such a way that sometimes we convince the person who is not convinced, or sometimes some people they fool the one who are supposed to be smart. So that's all done through speech, right? So speech is a powerful tool, and nowadays we can all see what kind of fraud and what kind of things are happening with speech, especially with the advancement of the AI. So speech is a powerful tool. Unfortunately, with respect to the Qur'an, with respect to these words of our Creator, we are doing the same thing that the previous people did, or the previous generation did, that we have made this book, which is so powerful, so deep, into a book that is enjoyed through recitation, or we recite. That has become the main usage of this book. You are sitting there, put on the Qur'an. It is Ramadan, put on the Qur'an. Okay? We read the Qur'an. Don't take it beyond it. Just stop there. That's it. Because we have taken ourselves to such a low level that when we recite the Qur'an, especially on a daily basis in Ramadan, we feel like, okay, we are making the full use of Ramadan. Because we have ourselves lowered the bar to such a low extent. Had we been the people who would regularly approach the Quran, study the Quran on daily basis, then we would take it upper notch. Well, I recite it every day. Let me do something special. Let me try to understand it. Let me not keep a target of finishing 3 Quran. Let me keep a target of reading some part, but finishing at least 1 surah or 1 part or 30 surahs only, but with understanding. But we don't do that. That's because our norms, our standards have become very. So the point that I was trying to make is, there are so many qaris that recite the Quran so beautifully. And may Allah reward all of them. And this is something we are supposed to do. We are supposed to recite the Quran in a melodious voice, in a nice voice. Yes, that is true. We are not against it. But the point is, we should not forget that this is a live book which contains, when it was getting revealed, it was not just sent down as one piece of information. It was Nazzala. From seventh heaven to first heaven, it was Anzala, sent down in one chunk. But from seventh heaven to the earth, it became Nazzala, piece by piece meal. Why? Because this is a lively book. This book contains commands. It contains instructions. It contains reprimands. It contains all those dialogues and live communication that you and me do in a daily life. This is that book. So when we hear the Quran with the melodious recitation, we are like, okay, nicely going on. We completely forget what is being talked about, what is being recited. لِإِلَافِ قُرَيْشٍ إِلَافِهِمْ رِحْلَةَ الشِّتَاءِ. But if you see the construction of the surah, it is starting in a very unusual way. Unusual from the perspective of communication, unusual from the perspective of Arabic grammar. It is very, very unusual for your convenience and for your customization. That's what it is saying. What are you talking about? Someone enters the house, the father enters the house, and he starts saying, all this I did for your convenience, for your... No salam, nothing. Directly opening the door and speaking like this. What will you feel? What happened? Something of a big nature has happened. Something serious matter is there. But when we hear the recitation, what's going on? Nicely enjoying it. Or we are in our own world, roaming in the mall, and the Imam is reciting. Why? Because first of all, there is a recitation going on. We don't understand a bit of it. So definitely your mind is not going to be under control. You are not understanding what he's reading, and he's reading in a melodious voice, like a background music. You're taking it, and then you are in your own world, and your mind and your psychology has got tuned to that. The moment you hear Allahu Akbar, you have to go down. The moment you hear Sami Allah, you have to come up. It's just the body does those motions. When the left right is done, you walk away. That's the norm of our community or our people that's going on. So that is the reason we thought that this Ramadan we will do a small surah. The surah is of that type that everybody recites it. Not because they like it, not because they understand it, because it doesn't consume much of the time. Within 30 seconds, the 4 ayahs are done. That's the reason. So there are these couple of surahs which are our favorites. We already recited. But we forget, this small surah is a small rocket with the explosion filled inside it. And you will feel it yourself. It is a very, very powerful surah. The construction, as I told you, is very, very unorthodox. It is very high in rhetoric, in balagha. It's very, very high. So that's the reason this surah was chosen to be one of the surahs to be discussed this Ramadan, inshallah. And based on this surah, this could be like a small bit of rice that we taste when the women of our house make the rice, and if it is ready or not, you need to just check with 2 or 3 grains. Okay, it's ready. Oh, it's not ready. You don't need to eat up the whole rice of the family, right? So this is the surah which will give you a taste of, first of all, for those people who have just completed the Surah course, how can we apply it and how does it relate to our understanding? Our regular student, they already know it because they study the Quran on regular basis in the class, but they will have an understanding of this particular surah. And the new students who have joined it, who have no background of grammar or sarf, they will also see that the things that we are speaking, where they feel like I'm understanding what you're saying, but I don't relate it to Quran because I don't have the knowledge of grammar. So maybe they should think on this, that why studying the language should be part of my life as a Muslim. Because nobody else is going to do. If we Muslims are going to abandon the Arabic language, who else is going to take it? Who else? Nobody else. We are supposed to be the custodian of this language. Just like the Quraysh are the custodians of the Kaaba, and they got reprimanded in this surah and the next surah. We are also going to get the same thing if we treat Arabic just like a language which is used to recite the Quran, unfortunately. Anyway, all the surahs, scholars say that they are related. They are, even though for you and me, for a layman, it sounds like this surah's topic is different, that surah is different. They have been ordered in such a way that I don't think there's a link between this and surah. No matter how much we feel that, unless we study and have a good understanding, we will not realize that all these surahs are linked. The order is not random. This was decided by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the order of the surahs. So they have a link inside them. They have a connection. They gradually progress towards the ultimate target. So this surah also is connected to the surah previously and the surah that is coming next. It's connected to them. No matter how much odd we feel. That's surah Fil. Alam Tara, that's about Abraha. This is about Quraysh. Or the next surah is about Ma'un, the people who are not praying properly. No. How is this related? So this all is related by a glue called as the dua of Ibrahim alayhi salam. That is the central to understanding this surah and the surahs around it. This is the central. So Ibrahim alayhi salam's dua has been mentioned multiple times in Qur'an at multiple places. This is one of the place where Ibrahim alayhi salam's dua is mentioned in a short, and there is other place also. I think Surah Ibrahim, the dua is mentioned there, and it is mentioned in a little bit of length. Some extra things are mentioned there. But I have taken this just to keep the discussion sweet and simple. So this is one of the dua of Ibrahim alayhi salam. If you see, those of you who know the little bit of grammar, it's very easy to understand the whole ayah. There is hardly any difficult word or difficult grammar in this. Waiz qala, is. Okay, is a conditional statement. Is means when, and there is a iza and there is a is. Both of them mean when, but the difference is means when in the past tense. Iza means when in the future tense. Iza jaa nasrullahi wal fath, when the help of Allah comes. Is qala Musa, when Musa said. So both of them are when, but one is, unfortunately, English uses the when word for past as well as future. Arabic has a separate word derived from the same form, is and isa. So this is going to be past tense. What is qala, when he said. No. After qala there is a word Ibrahim, rafa state, dhamma. That means the doer should not be he, the doer should be the word Ibrahim. And when Ibrahim said, okay, what did he say? Rabbi. Rabbi word is jar. For what reason? There is no harf of jar. Why is it jar? Well, because actually there is a ya there which is dropped. So it is Rabbi, my Rabb. When Ibrahim alayhi salam said, my Rabb, my master, ij'al. Ij'al is a command. But when the command is used from a person who is lower in status to someone who is higher in status, the command becomes a request. Same thing in English. When we say, give me the pen, to someone who is of lower status or someone who is junior to, you say, give me the pen. But if you ask the same thing to a boss, give me the pen, you don't say give me the pen, you add a word please. Please give me the pen. The please means request. In Arabic, we use the please, but you can understand request and command depending upon who is talking to whom. Anyway, when Ibrahim said, my Lord, ij'al, make, haza, this, balad, city. Make this city aminan, aman, secure, safe. Okay. Then he said, warzuk, one more command, becomes a request. Warzuk, urzuk, rizq, and provide, make provision. Provision for whom? Ahlahu. Ahla, people. Ahlul bayt, people of bayt. Ahl also could mean family. Ahlahu, for its people, people of it. Make provision, provide provision for its people. Minas samarat, here means all kinds of, different kinds of. Minas samarat, samarat, fruits. Make provision. This means provision, basically, food. Provide for his people from all kinds of food. For which people? Man amana. Those whoever believes. Those amongst them. Man amana minhum. From among them whoever believes. Believes in whom? Billahi. In Allah. Wal, and yawmil akhir. Whoever amongst them believes in Allah and the day of judgment and the day of akhir, then I request you to give them safety and provide the risk. So the gist of this dua is Allah, Ibrahim alayhi salam made these two requests to Allah. What? First is the safety and security. Please make them safe. And the second is the provision. You see, fortunately, we are not experiencing all these difficulties, but there are lots and lots of our own brothers and sisters who are not so blessed, not so lucky that every day they get up, they don't have to worry about their safety or their food. They are living in places where they don't know when they will be coming under the attack or when they will be facing a major calamity. There are many brothers and sisters. So they might relate this to a very actual experience level, that what it feels like when you are residing at a place that you don't know anything could happen anytime. Fortunately, we are not one of those people. We take it for granted. And food also. These are two vital things if you can imagine. Food and safety and security. No matter what kind of a person you are, if there is no food on the table, doesn't matter what kind of lavish things you have, luxurious things, you need the basic food. Now imagine food is there, but there is no safety. You don't know what's going to happen in the next second. Please keep your mics muted. You don't know what's going to happen in the next second. The food doesn't mean at all. You have small kids, you have a family, you have a loving family, you love them to the heart, and there's a possibility anything could happen. Right? So these are the two basic things, and Ibrahim alayhi salam knew very well that only if these two things are taken care, then the rest is all can be taken care. So look at the genius Ibrahim alayhi salam. He makes dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, highlighting these two major things that are required for his people. Because the place where he built the Kaaba, left his own family, nothing was there. We all know that story. What kind of a situation he left his family? A small kid, a small child, baby, and a wife, woman. So he makes this dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So remember these two things that are part of this dua, that are going to be the theme in this surah. This surah is going to run with these two things. That is the crux of this surah. Okay? Everybody with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fit. Now, here is, as I told you, each surah is connected to the surah which is before it and the surah that is coming after it. To understand Quraysh, Surah Quraysh, we need to go back to the previous surah where it all started. Surah Fil. Almost all of the scholars agree that these two surahs are interconnected. They have a strong link between them. It is directly connected to Surah Fil. And the glue, as I told you, that is connecting this surah is the dua of the Ibrahim alayhi salam. Dua of Ibrahim alayhi salam. Remember the two things: safety, security, and provision. Safety and security and the provision. So the two main requirements for human to survive, the provision and the safety, security, are covered in this two surah. Surah Fil took care of the safety and security. How? By destroying the army of Abraham. Everybody saw it. Wow, that was a miracle of a kind. You will see that what kind of a person Abraha was and what kind of an army he was coming to attack. Nobody had seen such an army. Everyone who came on his way, whoever tried to resist him was crushed. That kind of an army was standing at the edge of the Kaaba. And what did Allah do it? Completely destroyed. Completely destroyed. So after this incident, you will see that what happened to the Quraysh, to their status after this incident, and how was their status before this event happened. How people used to treat them. So this is a big event where out of the two things in the dua of the Ibrahim alayhi salam, one thing was taken care, the safety and the security of the Quraysh. Now nobody can dare to mess with them, because they are under the direct protection of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that was taken care in that surah. So what remained? Well, what remained was the provision part of it. So you can see that how the surahs are related there, the provision part of it. Now, these surahs so strongly connected, this surah, they say that when Umar Raziallahu Anhu, when he used to, sometimes he used to lead the Maghrib Salah. In Maghrib Salah, Umar used to read Surah Teen in the first rakah. Of course, Maghrib has 3 rakahs, right? The third is silent. In the first rakah, he used to read Surah Teen. And in the second rakah, he used to read Surah Fil. And then once the Surah Fil finishes, he used to go on to Surah Quraish. And mind you, without reading Bismillah. Without reading Bismillah, he used to go to Surah Quraish. He always used to do that. Whenever he was leading Salah and he read Surah Fil, he used to read Surah Quraish. And when asked upon that, he used to tell, well, for the sake of bifurcation, we have bifurcated it. We said surah, this is a separate surah. But actually, this is one surah. This is complete one surah. To indicate that they are strongly related to each other. They are not 2 surahs. They are completely related. That's what he used to do. Right? Now, the other thing, Allah, when He wants to favor His people, of course, this applies all the time. It just doesn't mean it's the time of the Quraysh itself, that He can do the favor in 2 ways. One is by granting whatever we wish. So this is the central, this is how the du'as work. When you make something dua and you feel like, I'm making it dua for the whole Ramadan, from last so many Ramadan, it's not getting accepted. Well, there could be so many issues. One of the things could be Allah is holding on to it. Allah is holding on to it because you deserve much better than this, whatever you are asking. So maybe He could give us in the later part of the life, or maybe when we desperately need it in the afterlife. So that could be one of the things. Or what Allah does is, in His infinite wisdom, you ask for X, instead of giving you X, had He given you X, there was something of a big calamity that was about to befall you. What He does is, He negates it. He makes sure that you don't go under that calamity, and even if you go, it's not as severe as it was. So there are things in the background that could happen that we don't know, because Allah has already done. So these are the 2 ways Allah favors the people whom He wants to favor, either by granting them what they wish, or by avoiding harm to them. So here also you see that the Quraysh, they have been given both these gifts. Their harm was avoided, and they were also given the provision, as you can see in this surah. So the surah, the starting of the surah is very, very weird. Again, for those of you who have little bit of knowledge of the grammar, you can feel that. It is starting li'ilafi Quraish. Li'ilaf, for the convenience. You can say there are so many words for the word ilaf. We will see that. We will discuss that word separately. For the convenience of the Quraysh, for the accustomization of the Quraysh, for their benefit. It starts like this. It is starting with the jar majroor, li'ilafi. And if you read even the next ayah, li'ilafi Quraysh, ilafihim rihlat ash-shita'i, the second ayah of this 4 ayah surah, still you don't realize, as a student of language, student of grammar, that what type of jumla is this? I mean, there are 2 major jumlas in Arabic language, jumla ismiya and jumla fe'liya. But if you see only the first 2 ayahs, you still are completely in doubt. What jumla is this? If the exam asks you question, hey, give me the type of jumla, you won't be able to pinpoint that this is jumla ismiya or jumla fe'liya, because this is a very unorthodox construction. Even as per grammar, even as per the Arabic spoken in that day, this was a weird thing. It was very, very eye-opening thing. What is this? How is this surah starting? And we will see at the end of this lecture, the last slide, how the surah should have been revealed, but was not revealed. And what was the reason for it? The Arabic that was expected from it was this, not the one that we read. So there are so many things in a small surah. So imagine if we do this kind of a study for Surah Baqarah. One life would be not enough. But just imagine what kind of understanding of Surah Baqarah will we have when we study it to this level, to the word by word, each and every word, its multiple meanings, why this word was chosen, how it is used, what is the construction here, and why this construction. all these things matter a lot in understanding the proper concept, the proper context of a ayah. Remember, we are talking about the words of the Creator, not a word of a human being. So, no matter how much deep we go, still we might not be close to anywhere here. But whatever the scholars have tried, at least we can go to that level. But unfortunately, we are still stuck in tilawat. So, Surah Fil showed what Allah did. Surah Fil showed what Allah did. Surah Quraish shows why Allah did it, what He did it. So Surah Fil, what? Surah Quraish, why? That's how they are interconnected. They cannot be broken. They cannot be seen separately. They are linked. Yeah, Mushaf wise, linguistic wise, book wise, they are separated, but concept wise not. In fact, the whole surah is only one ayah. Actually, if you see it, the meaning of it and the concept, it's just one ayah. It's one ayah only. But we see four ayahs. The concept is only one. It's one sentence only. But it is constructed in such a way that it is really, really unorthodox. Anyway, now coming to the background of this. So as we can see, this surah is related to previous surah. So without understanding the previous, at least some part of it, we won't be able to really appreciate what is going on here. So this all started with Abraha, in the previous surah. Who was Abraha? Abraha was the 6th century governor of Yemen. He was a Christian ruler from Abyssinia. Currently, I think it is called as Ethiopia. Ethiopia used to call it as Abyssinia. So he became the governor of Yemen. He built a great church. I think it was shown here, right? Yeah. So I think yeah. So just a demonstration of it. He built a great church by the in the area called Sana. Okay, and he called it as Al-Kulli. The purpose of this church was that he was envying the kind of a traffic, the kind of a trade Mecca was enjoying. The kind of a city, Mecca had become the central city for all kinds of trade, for all kinds of business. It was like, if you are talking about India, it was like a Mumbai, the financial capital. Everything was through that. As far as the world is concerned, let's say New York, the financial capital of the world, right? So it was the New York, Mumbai of that time. And Abraha was very much jealous about it. So he had this plan when he started this church, that one day I want to divert all that trade. So if you can see, right now all the trade was happening to Mecca. He wanted that trade and pilgrimage and the status of the site to go to his church, Sana. You cut the route to the Mecca and you get it to our church. That was his plan. And they say that some of the reports say that it so happened that one of the Quraysh, they put some filthy thing in the church, and that was the tipping point for him to say, now I'm going to go and attack Makkah and destroy it and reroute all the trade to my thing. So he, in 570 Common Era, this is the same year Prophet ﷺ was born, and that's why this is called as Amul Fil, the year of elephant, because he took this elephant army, right? So he took his army and started marching towards Mecca. He started marching toward Mecca to attack it. On the way, nobody resisted him, but whatever little resistance he got, he just flattened them out. And this was, nobody had seen such a huge army of 60,000 soldiers. And most of them containing this, most of the army was on the elephants. Never were elephant used in this form. Maybe one or two, but this was the complete army with many elephants in it. So people were like, their eyes were coming out, their pupils were coming out of the blocks. What is this going on? When they were passing, they were making this huge uproar. So by just the sound of it, people were scared. And when you can imagine the status of this Quraysh people before this, that when they passed through Taif, the Abraha's army, when it passed through Taif, which is close to Mecca, Taif is the next big city. Those people, instead of resisting, they guided them to Mecca. Okay, here is the route. Go here. Yeah, where are you going? To Mecca. Oh, please go ahead. We have nothing to do with it. Go and destroy them. That's what he said. This was the status and dignity of the Quraysh before the attack. Nobody cared them. Nobody cared. You see, if you read the history, there is so many wars going on just beside this place. The Romans, the Persians, they are fighting big, huge wars for so many years. Nobody bothered to take over them, to capture them. Why? They don't have anything. No agriculture, no resources, no minerals. They have nothing. What do we do with them? They will be more of a, you can say, liability rather than asset. So they used to go around them and go on the fighting with the armies, but never bothered to take. They had no dignity. This was their status. This is what they had brought themselves upon, in spite of having Kaaba there. You imagine? So this is their status, and now see what happens when the attack happens. So keep these backgrounds in mind. What I'm small tidbits I'm sharing with you. Keep this, their status, what they used to do, what was. This is all will make you understand, appreciate this surah, and why Allah is speaking to them in such a harsh tone. Why? We need to understand the reason. So next time when we recite, next time when we read this surah, this whole picture should come in mind. It should play rather than playing or being in a marketplace and being physically here, mentally not here. This is the whole purpose of this study. And giving you the taste of each and every surah should be studied in this way to make the proper understanding. Anyway, okay. So I gave you the background of this. I told you about the Abraha, about it. Yeah, I think that's all I had in this. Yeah. So this is the army that Abraha is heading towards, and this is the route he wanted it for the people. Now, it so happened that there was an economic collapse in the Yemen, Sabah as they call it at, okay? Collapse of Sheba is well known. The whole economy collapsed because there was a great flood, and the flood damaged complete agriculture system of the Yemen, which was one of the hub for the trades. You can see, I will show you the map how it works so that you know what we are talking about. But this collapsed the economic system, hence created a vacuum in the Arab Peninsula. So much so that these Arabs were also trading with Yemen. Yemen is in the south, Arabs are in the middle, and on top is the Syria. So these are the three major ports, or you can say major cities, in between which the trade happens, and the people are supplied with the systems there, right? So it became so bad that economic collapse because of the flood, the dam breaking, and the agriculture completely wiped off, that the Arabs were starving. No trade, no agriculture, whatever little food is all destroyed. They were literally starving, Arab people, to such a bad state that they had to convene a meeting. The Quraysh, they convened a meeting that something needs to be done for this, because there is hardly any trade, no trade. And moreover, these are places, Syria in the north, Yemen in the south, where the weathers are very, very extreme. Syria in summer, in winter, it gets very, very cold. Yemen in summer, it gets very, very hot. So it is, you can, now we are not talking about driving in a car or a plane or a carnival cruise. No, we are talking about traveling on a camel in the hot, chilling desert with no trees, no shade. So keep that in mind. That's what we are talking about. It was such a hard condition. And on top of that, there was this risk of getting looted. This was normal. So this was not abnormal that you go out on those doors for a trade and you come out clean and nobody attacked you. That was never happening. It was very, very rare. If that happened, you were one of the luckiest people. The normal, when people got out for trade or went out of their house, was, okay, I'm going to get looted. What can I do to mitigate it, to minimize it? That's what they used to think. They were never thinking that, okay, I'm going, I'll be back safely. No, that was not the norm. So they had always this fear of getting looted on top of this harsh climate. So these were some of the things that were that forced the Quraysh to convene a meeting, that we need to do something about this. Okay, so in that meeting, during the discussion, they realized that what we can do is we can send dignitaries, we can send people to places around us, and we can try negotiate some treaties with them. So what treaty and why, why we should do, and why would they listen to us? The genius idea that came to them was, look, we are Quraysh, we are the custodian of Kaaba. Yeah, and in our custody is not only Kaaba, but all the 360 idols of the different tribes that have those idols inside the Kaaba, and we are supposed to be the one to take care of it. So why not use this as an advantage to us in this harsh situation and negotiate some things with them, with which we can try to change this situation. So this idea really was like a eureka moment, like a moment where, wow, why didn't we think of this earlier? Because of this desperate situation, this is what they convened the meeting and they came up with this idea. So now, 3, 4 high-level dignitaries started traveling to the Romans and the Persians and the people in the Yemen, and they talked to them, and then they discussed, see, we are the Quraysh, we are holding on to your gods. So we have been doing this for such a long time, and we continue to do so, and we do all this for you. So maybe you should consider us in a little bit better position. So when we travel, make sure that we are not attacked. And we will try, when we come for the thing, make sure that we can do business with you people. So this kind of a dealing, they started negotiating with these people, and ultimately the fact of being the custodian of the Kaaba worked toward their advantage. They realized that our gods are hostages with them. If we try to mess up with them, then maybe they will throw out our god, and then we will be left with no place. Kaaba is the central place. It's like throwing you out of Mumbai. Now where you will go if you are used to Mumbai, right? So that's what they were. And on top of that, don't forget, they still had this in their memory. What happened to Abraha when he tried to mess with these people? So they also had this in their memory. Okay, don't mess with them. So they agreed to all this, most of the terms that they said. So if you are traveling and you are sure that nobody is going to attack you, how you might feel in a situation, in a condition where everybody gets attacked? You will not be touched. So this is the advantage that they got when they came up with this. That's why these people who negotiated it, they are called as ilaf. You see, ilaf-i-Quraysh. Of course, this is not that ilaf, but ilaf is a word which means to create the bond, to create favoritism, to have a link. To that we will see that word. It has multiple meanings of attaching the hearts, or having a good relationship, having friendship. That's the meaning of ilaf. And these people who negotiated, they were called as ilaf at that time, because they created this bond. But of course, that ilaf which Allah uses is not because of these people. Yeah, one of the reason you could say that the bigger reason is Abraha, destruction of Abraha. That is bigger reason. Had Allah not destroyed Abraha, they would have no business with the Yemen. No business with Yemen. They would be completely destroyed. This one incident where we read it like Surah feel, Allah destroyed it. It has so many consequences in favor of the Quraysh, in favor of Islam, in favor of Muslim, in favor of guarding the Kaaba. That was not a small incident. It had a lot of ripple effect to the whole world-wise. It was a much bigger event that you and me can imagine by just reading the Surah feel. It has a lot of repercussions, which turned into the advantage, for the Quraysh. This is one incident. Okay. Now, here is the thing. Look at this map. So this will give you a picture of what we are talking about here. Okay. This is layout of the Makkah, Yemen, and Syria. Here is the Makkah, the central place. Okay. Yemen is in the south. Yemen is in the south. Syria is in the top. Now, by the way, everybody with me?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. 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 So look at the strategic location of Makkah. What Allah has chosen, what position for Makkah? Look at it. It is in the central and such a favorable place that you can go up for the trade, you can go down, and you are in the middle. And when you travel, you have a resting spot in the center. Let's say you go to Syria, you do a business, you get the goods, you are going back. Now you want to go and sell the goods to the Yemen south. Well, you have a resting place in the middle. Wait there, meet your family, continue your journey. Again, bring some Yemen good, go to Syria to sell it. But on the way, you have Makkah. Again, take a halt. Such a strategic location. Such a strategic location. And the location is quite well mapped to the surah. I will show you in the almost at the end of this discussion how the location is mapped to the surah, to the words of the surah. Such a beautiful construction of those words, of those ayahs, that they show this map. This map is demonstrated in that ayah. So this is how they used to go. They used to go to the Yemen and come back. Okay, so the map gives you a clear picture what we are talking about, where they go, why they go, and all that thing. Okay, because again, this is the dua of Ibrahim alayhi salam. In the Surah Ibrahim, we saw one dua here. In the other dua, he says, "Oh Lord, I have settled some of my descendants in your city, in this part of the city. So make the people's heart inclined towards them," which means make other people like them, love them. This is also part of the Ibrahim alayhi salam dua. So that is also the reason that people have attraction towards these places, towards these people of Makkah. This is the part of the dua, he said, so that, and then he says, so that these people may establish the prayer, so everybody prays towards the Makkah. So this, most of the thing that's why Hajj, most of the rituals are from Ibrahim alayhi salam's legacy. Most of the thing. This is central to Ibrahim alayhi salam. And all that is happening here is the result of Ibrahim alayhi salam. People's hearts inclined towards these people. Again, ilaf. Ilaf is what? I just told you. Linking, bonding, a customization, convenience, love. That's ilaf. That's the dua of Ibrahim alayhi salam. And he made, provide them in spite of the harshness. These are the words of the dua of Ibrahim alayhi salam. Provide them. I know this location has no agriculture, no water except Zamzam, nothing, but still provide them. Look at the Makkah's people. After this starvation period, after that you will never come across where they were starving for the food, even though they are not in one of the best positions. No, nothing grows there, but still they have all the luxury. This is all the result of Ibrahim alayhi salam. And that's why Allah is so upset that I fulfilled all the things that Ibrahim made in the dua. But then you were supposed to do something on your part which you are not doing. That is the crux of this surah. That I fulfilled, I favored you so much you don't realize my blessings. What strategic location I given you. I have provided you in spite of all this hard condition, and you don't budge from your habit of disobeying me or committing shirk. And that's why the tone of the surah, that the tone is, right? So Allah fulfilled most of the promises that Ibrahim alayhi salam made. But the part that the Quraysh were supposed to do, they didn't do it. So this is the strategic location. Now, here is what happened, the outcome of the meeting. As per the decision taken, Quraysh finally decided to go on the trade to Syria in summer, because Yemen is very hot. Yemen is a desert place, right? It's very, very hot in summer. So what they used to do, they used to go to Syria in summer. And then in winter, Syria gets very, very cold. So they used to come to Yemen. So they had this advantage. Other tribes couldn't do it. Other tribes couldn't do it. Because if you travel in a season which is mediocre, you have more chances of getting attacked. If it is a normal weather, not very harsh, and you say, oh, now we can do the trade, let's go there because it's quite comfortable, then the weather is also comfortable for the dacoits. There is more attack. There is more capturing and ransoming, so you will lose more. So that's that's the downside of traveling in a mediocre weather. And if you travel in hardcore weather, then the weather is really, really tough and you hardly get any customer. So it's like a catch 22 situation. What do you do? But the Arabs, they were granted the blessings by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They could go whenever they want. Yeah, nobody is going to touch them. Where do you want to go? I want to go to Yemen. Okay, go to Yemen. When do you want to go? I want to go now. But the other tribes couldn't do this. They have to work out a middle solution for the weather and the getting attacked. Now, in case, even if they get attacked, the Quraysh, they used to show the identity card. I mean, not literal identity card, but hey, we are Quraysh. What are you doing? You messing with us? Which tribe you are? Oh, you have that. Your two idols are with us, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's it. Clinch it, go. This is what they enjoyed after the incident of Abraha. This is the blessing that they imagine other people, other tribes struggling to make them to meet, to earn something without getting attacked and to save maximum. And these people are roaming freely, all because of what? Because of the great favor of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because of the dua of Ibrahim alayhi salam, they are able to enjoy all this benefit. And what these people are doing, they don't care. They have become complacent. They don't realize what blessings they are having. The day in, day out, when they sleep, when they get up, they walk around, it's all around Kaaba. When you see that thing day in and day out, you lose the consciousness that this is Kaaba, this is Allah's house. What blessings are we? Here we are, when we go to Hajj, when we go to Umrah, we realize the importance of looking at the Kaaba and praying in that place. Now, of course, if we were also in the same place getting away, then we would also get less conscious about it, which is not a good thing, because you should always be conscious of your blessings. That is the right person, the one who is always conscious of his blessings, rather than complaining of what you don't have. So this is what was going on with this Quraysh, and this is the background of it, this is the connection of it, and you should keep this situation in mind when you are reading those ayahs, when you are studying this surah. Mind you, it's almost an hour and we have not even started the first ayah. We didn't even start the lead. This is just the background of it. And so many things I just skipped over because looking at the clock, it might take much longer. Anyway, so this is the background, this is the history. Now, let's jump into the surah itself, the surah Quraysh. Everybody with me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Look at this. This is the whole surah Quraysh. This seems to be 4 ayahs. But as I told you, for those people who understand little bit of language, if you read, you can realize it's just one concept. It's just one thing that's talked about. It's just one thing. And as I told you, this beginning, Li'ilafi Quraish, this is a very, very odd beginning. You don't start a sentence like this. It is jar majroor and idafa. So, what type of jumla is this? Is it a nominal sentence or verbal sentence? I don't know. I can't tell you. Because the nominal sentence, jumla ismiya, is supposed to be starting with an ism in the rafa state. I don't see it. There is no rafa word. Okay, then it could be jumla failure. Yeah, but I don't see any fail there. Where is the fail? No fail. No action. And the sentence is complete? The ayah complete? Yeah. What type of construction is this? And that's where those people were also thinking who were speaking in Arabic. That's a very, very weird, abnormal, unorthodox construction of the language. Okay, maybe the next ayah will help us. Ilafihim rihlatash shitai. Is it a jumla failure? No, I don't see any fail there. No fail, no verb. Oh, maybe you have a ism in the rafa state. No, I don't see any. Oh my God, this is also not a jumla. What happened? 50% of surah is over. Still we cannot decide the jumla itself. Jumla is the basic constituent of a language. Jumla means sentence. I don't see a sentence there. What kind of a speech is this? This is Allah's speech. We might have never realized. We have read this surah so many times. We might have read it in the surah Fajr itself. If we got up late, missed the Jamaat, we might have read this surah, but never realized it is not even a sentence. The whole thing is single concept. That's what it is. No clue of Jumla type even after the 2 ayahs. And there is one more odd thing in this. This is for especially for the students of the language, students of the grammar. That maf'ul means detail. For a Jumla failure, it is a detail. Maf'ul means detail, object basically in the general English grammar. Maf'ul is a detail. So Ahmad gave a book to Zaid. Ahmad gave a book to Zaid. Ahmad gave what? Book. Oh, so book is the detail. So the word book would be written as a maf'ul, as a detail. When the Arabic students read it, they will realize, oh, this is maf'ul, because it is written this way. So maf'uls are supposed to be the core constituent of fail, of action. Here, the rehlata is nasb, which means it is a maf'ul. Where is the verb? The verb is not there. So this is one of those weird situations where you got a maf'ul, but the verb is not there. The maf'ul is rather related to the word ilafihim. Ilafihim is itself is a mudaf ilayh. Now, sorry for those to those people who are not understanding this gibberish. This is grammar terms I'm using. The people, the students might appreciate it well what we are talking about. But anyway, ilafihim is a mudaf ilayh, and it is. We will see down the line, just in the next slide, it's a masdar. So the maf'ul has come in the function of maf'ul for a masdar. That is weird. Masdars don't have maf'uls. Masdars themselves come as maf'ul. Weird grammar, weird usage. Not odd, not incorrect. No, the Arabs read this. Nobody objected. This is a special construction, the way it is used. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala could have come with some. That's why this is a book of Mojis, a book of miracle from the language perspective also. That's why nobody came up with the smallest surah when Quran challenged them, Allah challenged them. Come up with a small surah like this. Nobody, in spite of this. Because they know this is something superhuman. Only Allah could do it. But those are some of the things that are weird, which we might have not paid attention to from language wise. Anyway, we are going to look at each and every ayah, first from linguistic perspective, language perspective, and then from grammar perspective, so that you have a complete idea. I gave you the theoretical and the historical and all the things to understand this surah. Now we are going to just study the ayahs from linguistic, grammar, and complete it. Okay, so let's go to the first ayah. Okay, the first ayah, we will do the linguistic exploration. And here is the ayah. Li'ilafi Qurayshin. Okay, Li'ilafi Qurayshin. Now in this, li is a harf of jar. Li is a, are you seeing the complete ayah? Are you seeing the complete ayah on your screen? Okay, I got it. It just refreshed. Yes, yeah, okay. Li'ilafi Quraysh. Yeah. So li is a harf of jar. You know that. That's why the word ilaf is gone into majroor state. Jar. It has become jar. So there are 3 states of a word. States means functions. Rafa, nasb, jar. Rafa means damma, pesh. Nasb means fatha, zabar. And jar means kasra, zair. Okay? Zair, zabar, pesh. So damma, fatha, kasra. So this is kasra, which means there has to be a reason for it. A word by default should always be rafa. Should always be showing damma, pesh. But if it shows something else, there is a reason for it. So this is showing something else. It is jar. Why? Because of the word li. Li makes the next word jar. Li is a harf of jar. So li ilafi. All right, okay, that's fine. But what is ilafin? I don't understand this. What is ilaf? I don't understand. What is this ilaf? Li ilafi Qurayshin. As I told you, this is a masdar. This is a masdar. And for those of you who were studying surf from last 1 week, can you tell me which masdar it is? Which family? Small, big, which family? Please, someone. Which masdar? Take a guess from the sound. Huh? Big family. Okay, that is good. 50%. Yeah, you reached 50%. Complete the remaining 50. Which of the big? Which of the 8? Look at the construction. Ilafi. Which one has a masdar on this format?
Aslama family.
Aslama family. There you go, the student who made the most of the last 7 days. Aslama family, which means now with this one word, you can make the whole table. That's the magic. A student who studies the sarf, if we understand he or she that this is Aslama family, they can make the whole table. The past tense will be Alafa. It is actually Alafa, Aslama, but and Hamza, they both are sound. So instead of saying and having this hiccup, the Arab said we will make it They always smooth it out because they revere this language so much that they don't want even a small word to sound ineloquent. Wherever they found this ineloquency, they used to fix it and make it smooth. You'll see that there are many. So this also, instead of saying lafa, they change it to one, two R's together and make it a mud elongation. Lafa. So if the past tense is lafa, the present tense will be yulifu. Yulifu. Aslama, yuslimu. Yulifu. And of course, the word used is masdar, ilafan. Alafa, yulifu, ilafan. And the one who does alafa is called as mulifun. The doer of alafa. Isam fa'il. Mulifun. The passive will be ulifa, yulafu, ilafun, and the one on whom this is done is mulafun. Mulafun. And if you want to say command, you want to command, hey, do alif or do ilaf, you will say alif, aslim. It is alif which became alif. La tu'lif. Don't do ilaf. Mulafun. The time and place of doing this. This is zarf. So this is the table. See, you see, the student of sarf, the student of grammar can create this whole table by just knowing the one word. This is the power of sarf. And this is what we studied in the last 1 week. Okay? So, alafa yulifu ilafa. So, this is the first ayah and the linguistic exploration of it. Okay? So, and here is one more thing that you can look upon. Li ilafi Qurayshin. So, as you can see in the translation, that for the convenience, for the benefit of the Quraysh. For the benefit of the Quraysh. Allah is revealing this surah to Quraysh, directed towards Quraysh. But look at the language. If a father walks in, the family is sitting there, and he speaks in this way, that for the benefit of Ahmad, he is not looking at Ahmad. He is looking at the other members. He's saying, for the benefit of Ahmad, I did this and this and this. What do we conclude from this style of speaking and this tone? Of course, it means the father is not so very happy with Ahmad. And that's why he's talking in third person. When do you speak in third person? When you are upset. If the person is in front of you and you want to speak to him or her, but you're not looking at her and you're speaking to someone about them, you're not speaking to them. You are speaking about them. This is a sign you are not very happy with them. And that's what is done, shown here, by just constructing this sentence in such a way. Even though talking to Quraysh, but not, it is talking about Quraysh. Even though they are right there, all of them are reading this ayah in front of them. Li'ilafi Quraysh. And it continues in the third person. The whole surah is third person. That indicates Allah is not happy with them. But do we realize this aspect when we read this surah? No. Because we don't even know what is ilaf. Including myself. When I say something like this, it's including me. Okay? Everyone. Because unfortunately, that is the sad situation we see around us. That people are only focused on reciting the Qur'an. The Jews were destroyed or suffered all this humiliation because they made their book a book of recitation. And we are almost on the same path. We don't have any time for understanding the language or understanding the book. We are satisfied with the recitation. We are satisfied by completing the Quran rather than contemplating on it. I'm sorry about that. Anyway, so alafa yulifu ilafan. This is the masdar. Now, this table, when you construct it like this, what is the meaning of it? Li ilafi Quraish. So let's look at this word in detail. This is a very, very important word. Of course, we are going to take a look at all the important words in this surah. It's a short surah, so we're going to take a look at this. What is this ilaf coming from, and what is this word? What's the meaning of it? What's the actual meaning of it? Now, those of you, I think that's the slide here. Yes. So those of you who completed your surf course in the last 1 week, there is the practical application of it. We are going to see this word ilaf in different families. It is used in family number 1, family number 2, family number 3, family number 4, and directly family number 8, which means it is not found to be used in the other families. Okay? Don't force every word in every family. This is found to be used in these families. Which word? Alafa. So if I take these root letters, this word, and I put it in the small family, it means mujarrad, thulathi mujarrad, 3-letter family, family number 1. You get the family as alifa ya'lafu. Alifa is the past tense, and then ya'lafu is the present tense. That is the family number 1. Okay, what happens when I put these root letters in family number 1? These are the meanings you can derive from it. What are the meanings? To be accustomed to become familiar with, to feel the intimacy, to have the affection, to be tame. If you are using with respect to animal, to tame them, to make them domesticate, to domesticate them, if this is used with animal. So the core meaning of this word, irrespective of the family, the core meaning of this word is familiarity, okay, habituation, unity, togetherness, being accustomed, taming, love, affection, intimacy. That is the core meaning. Then that core meaning will get customized based on what family you use. So keep that in mind, the word ilaf. What's the core meaning? So that's family number 1. Okay. So here is the example of it. Okay. Alifa al-makanu. So that's how you use it. Alifa al-makanu. Alifa al-makana. Okay. So alifa means in that there is a doer huwa. So he became accustomed to. Accustomed to what? The makan, the place. That would be an example of usage. He became accustomed to the place. So somebody moved into the new place. After some time, they become alifa al-makana. They become accustomed to that new place. Then you take the same root letter and put it in the family number 2. What do you get? Allafa yuallifu, which is the brother of, cousin of allama yuallimu. We studied that family. Allafa yuallifu. Okay. So now does the meaning remain the same? No, it gets a different spin. Allafa yuallifu would be different. Of course, as I told you, Allafa yuallifu is something which is emphasized because there is the tajdeed there, shadda. So this is more emphasized. So when you want to show the connection, love, affection, a customization, but with the intense, you use Allafa. It means to bring together, to unite, to reconcile, to compose, to author, to compile. Allafa yuallifu. And there is, this word is used in Qur'an. This word is used in Qur'an. Allafa yuallifu. Right? Allah says in Surah number 3, Allafa bainal qulub. Now, if you don't know the ilaf, how will you understand this word? And if you are studying from word to word, how will you differentiate ilaf and allafa? They are related. But this is family number, big family, family number 2. And this is small family, right? Allafa. Allafa bainal qulub. Allafa means to bring together, to compile. Baina, between. Qulub, hearts. He brought between hearts, literal. He brought the hearts together. That would be the practical example of it. He brought the hearts together. So Allah put the affection in their hearts. He brought the hearts together. Okay. Then you can put it in the 3, family number 3. Jahada yujahidu. It becomes alafa yulifu. Alafa yulifu. What does this mean? Again, related to the core meaning, but it means to associate, to make friends with, to treat kindly, to show friendliness. For example, if you say, alafa jarahu. Alafa jarahu. Jar means neighbor. Jar means pani ka jar nahi. Okay? Jar is neighbor. This word comes so many times in hadith, authentic hadith. Prophet ﷺ uses this word. You should treat your neighbor good. Your neighbor is this. Your neighbor is so much that Sahaba thought that the neighbor is going to get a share in the inheritance. So much value of the neighbor. Anyway, alafa jarahu. So jarahu, jara means neighbor. Jarahu, his neighbor. Alafa, it means to make friend, to be friendly. So alafa jarahu, he befriended the neighbor, his neighbor. Sorry, jarahu, his neighbor. He befriended his neighbor. See how the meaning is getting changed? But the central link of love, affection, intimacy, that is carrying on. But the meaning is getting a different connotation, different spin based on which family you use. That is the surf in practice for you. Okay? You cannot get anything better like this. Doing a surf course and doing a surah, applying the knowledge. Wow, it's like doing MBBS, studying the medical and doing the residency. Anyway, so family number 4. This is the family where the Surah Quraysh word is used, right? Alafa yulifu, alafa yulifu, to cause, uh, to be accustomed or familiar, to cause intimacy, to create the love, to create the bond, to make it comfortable, to make it convenient. So li'ilafi Quraysh. Okay, for the accustomed security of the Quraysh. That could be one of the meaning of it. And then finally, you could also use this word in family number 8. Okay, i'talafa ya'talifu, i'talafa ya'talifu, which means to be united, to join together, to agree, to be compatible, to be compatible. And the example would be i'talafa al-qawma. I'talafa al-qawma. Qawm means people or nation. The people united, you could say that. The people united, or the people formed an alliance. That's how it is used. Interestingly enough, this word ilaf, how much weird, no matter how much weird it is sounding to us, that we are saying ilaf, 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 we have read it, but the meaning it is becoming, this word is used in Urdu Hindi. There is a word in Urdu Hindi which is used there, which is the form which has originated from this, but maybe we didn't realize. And that word is ulfat. I used to hear this word a lot when I was growing up. I don't know, but nowadays I don't see this word being used. But ulfat, alf, that is ilaf. Ulfat is what? Ulfat is love, affection, intimacy, friendliness, kindliness. Ulfat. So they use this ulfat word a lot in the shairi, in the poetry. They use it a lot. So that word has is the originality of it is ilaf. So from Arabic it might have gone to Persian and all. Finally it ended up in Urdu Hindi becoming ulfat, alf. Okay, fine. So that is good enough for the word ilaf. I think we never studied one word such a long time. Now coming to the next word, li ilafi Quraish. What is there to study in Quraysh? Quraysh is a tribe. But what is the meaning of Quraysh? Quraysh is not just a random word made out of, it has a reason why they were called Quraysh. What is the meaning of Quraysh? I don't know. I have memorized this surah. I have studied it so many times, but I don't know the way. So let's investigate, let's explore what does the word Quraysh mean. Now, even of those of you who don't know Arabic grammar, you also might know it that the root letters in this word are Qaf, Ra, and Sheen. These are the root letters. Qaf, Ra, and Sheen. Qarsh. Those are the root letters. Now, 95% of the Arabic words are made from 3 root letters. 95%. So every word will have a 3 root letter. In this, Ya is not part of a root. It's a part of a pattern. And there is a reason for that. That also I'm going to explain you. When I finish this circle, I'll tell you. So, Qarsh. जहां भी आपको कर्श दिखाई देगा, यानी कि कोई वर्ड काफ रा शीन से बना है और काफ रा शीन इस ऑर्डर में है, इस ऑर्डर में लिखे गए हैं. So one thing you could be sure is you might not know the exact meaning, but the word will be related to gathering, to collecting, or it also means to trade. Collect, gather, or trade. That is the meaning of the word created with the root letter karsh, kaf, ra, shin. So there's a word takarrush, which means to earn money or to gather wealth. So Quraish का मतलब ये निकल सकता है those people who gather wealth, right? और those people who are trader, जो business करते हैं, इसका मतलब ये है Quraish, उससे आता है, because Quraish का मतलब है gathering, collecting or trading. So that's why they were called as Quraish, one of the reasons, Quraish. Now Quraish, this word kaf, ra, shin, these root letters are also used in another word which is created from, which is kirshun. Kirshun is a word which is created using the same root letter. Kirshun is to be the lower denomination of the money. Like in India, we have rupees. Maybe most of you don't know, but when I was growing up, the rupee was very rare. Rupee was only seen in Ramadan and Bakri when we used to get Eid. Otherwise, it was paisa. 1 paisa, 2 paisa, 3 paisa, 5 paisa. This is what we grew up. When I used to go to school, my mom used to give me 3 paisa or 2 paisa. And I used to be very happy. And sometimes if she gave me 5 paisa, I was looking at it. What happened? Are you okay? Why did you give me 5? So the lower denomination is called as kirsh. Even today, the Egyptian pound and the Syrian pound, those the lower denomination जिससे आपका रुपी बनता है, that lower, like in US the dollar has got cent. 100 cents make up $1, right? Now they are doing away with the cents also. But when I was there in US, still the cent was in used. We used to pay at the tolls with cents. Some of the toll booth had written there 5 cent, 10 cent. Nobody was there. You were passing by, just throw that cents inside that funnel, and you pass. There was no barrier. It was goodwill, faith. So they still use the cent. So kirsh means the lower denomination of the money. That's also related to Quraysh, because they were dealing with the trade. They were the merchants. So that's again related to them. Kirsh. Kirshun also means a predatory animal, a huge animal of the sea. That's also said kirshun. So in today's atmosphere, or the animals that we know of, you could say shark is kirshun, because this is one of those huge predators, or this predatory animal that exists in the sea. So kirshun also means shark. That's also the word kirsh. Okay. Then the actual word Quraish, if you see that in Arabic, of course, in Arabic, I have made in Arabic, I will tell about that thing later. But in Arabic, there is something called as ismu tasghir. It's called as ismu tasghir. Tasghir comes from the root letters are saghir. Saghir means small. Ismu tasghir means the smallest sum. So in those, I'm sorry, but I keep referring to the students of the Surah, because the matters keep up related to them. So in the Surah, the students study the Arabic is primarily, apart from Nahu, it is about patterns. If you can recognize the word pattern, you will know what type of a meaning will be generated. Even though you might not know the exact meaning of that word, but you will know what type of meaning will be generated because of the pattern. Here also, Arabic has got a pattern to say something, a light version, a small version of it. They call it ismu tasghir. In English, you may call it as diminutives. I have made a small video on YouTube. If you want, you can search on our channel, and a nice comprehensive video where I discuss this in length. But basically what is this is, if there is a thing and you want to say the smaller version of it, all you take it, those root letters, and put it in this form. Automatically the reader or the one who is listening, he will understand the author is trying to say the smaller version of it. Like there is a dog, okay? But what I see is not an actual dog, it's a puppy. It's a small dog. So for dog, I know the word is kalb, not kalb. Okay, kalb is hard. Kalb, ka, chota ka. Kalbun means dog. Yeah, but what do I say to a dog which is small, a puppy? You don't need to look up the dictionary. You don't need to ask anyone. If there is a word you know and you want a smaller form of it, light form of it, just put in the pattern of fu'ailun, fu'ail, fa'ain lam. In this pattern, fu'ail, the sound should come u'ai, that sound. You got the small form of it. So if kalbun means dog, I want to say what is the word for puppy, I will put it in the kaf lam ba, I will put in fu'ail pattern. I get kulaib. Kalb becomes kulaib. What is kulaib? Kulaib is puppy. Kulaib is puppy. Kitab, book. I want to say booklet, a small book. Kutaib, fu'ail. This is called as ismu tasghir. When you take a word and put it in the fu'ail format, you get the smaller, light version of it. Hassan. Okay, but this is the younger brother of Hassan. Small Hassan. How will I say? Hussein. Hussein means small Hassan. Why? It is on the fu'ail pattern. Abd, slave. Abd. I want to say a little slave. छोटा बच्चा है, उसको मैं अल्लाह का अब्द बोलना चाहता हूँ. But abd is big. Ubaid. Fu'ail. Small slave. A small servant of Allah. See that? Beautiful? You take any word, put it in the fu'ail pattern, you get the small form of it. You get the small form of it. Like in Qur'an, you see, Ya Bunayya. Ah, such a lovely word. Father and son, father and daughter. Ya Bunayya. This is the fu'ail pattern. Bunayya. It's a little bit different because there is a weak letter in it. The advanced student might appreciate it. But Bunayya comes from Ibn. Bint. Bunayya, there will be ha, tamarbuta. Without tamarbuta, it will be son. So bunayya is a fuel. Oh, my little son. Oh, my little son. Oh, my little daughter. Bunayya, प्यार से बोला जाता है. That's a tasgir form. Same thing, if you take karsh, kirsh, kaf, ra, sheen, and put it in the fuel form, what do you get? Quraish. Like Hussein, Jubail, Ubaid, Quraish. So Quraish is the smaller form. Yes, they were also called as the small traders or small shark. That's why the name Quraish. See that? So much information is hidden behind each every word. And we are here claiming, I have read the Qur'an from Mus'haf to Mus'haf, from cover to cover. I have read it many times. No, you have not. Nobody can. Nobody can. Right? So that is the information about the word Quraysh. It is tasghir. It is also, they will call as little sharks. It's also related to money. And since they were traders and the people who used to gather wealth, that's why the name Quraysh, little shark. I hope that is clear. Any questions so far? Of course, this is not a technical thing. This is just a information. But still, if you have any question,
Sir, I have a question.
go ahead, please.
Sir, why would a tribe call itself with such a harsh word like Quraysh?
Why is it harsh for you? What is harshness in this?
Sir, you are comparing with animals like shark and all that.
So what happened? Shark is an animal. Why is it harsh? Shark is the way. Shark.
No, because you are accumulating wealth.
Yeah,
Because
so
they are
that's also one of the
accumulating
reasons. Right? Accumulating wealth is not a bad thing. If you accumulate wealth, if you don't spend it, that is a bad thing. If Allah has given a wealth to someone, that does not mean He's punishing him. Some people are tested by getting the wealth. Some people are tested by not having enough wealth. Both are tests. Allah is testing both of these kinds of people. So just because if someone is super rich, we do not see him like, yeah, bahut paisa hai, kuch kam. No, we don't know what he's doing in the background, how much he's spending, how much he's taking care of people. We don't know. Having a wealth is a blessing. So Allah is testing, what do you do? When I give you, do you give away or not? So having a wealth is not a bad thing. In fact, nothing is a bad thing. It's what you do with it and what you don't do it. Shark is not a harsh word. Shark is something, everybody should be shark for the antisocial element of this society. They should fear you. You should be sharp. You should not be someone who slapped you and you're like, okay, yeah. If you have the right, you should stand for it. That's the shark. People are afraid of them, especially after the Abraha incident. And as I told you, demonstrated, shark is one of the meaning. Kirsh also means the denomination of the money, the people who collect wealth, the people who are trader. So why are you overlooking the other aspect and focusing on shark itself? And shark itself is not a bad. Shark is designed like that it attacks and eats the small fish. Isn't that what human beings do here? What's happening today around us? The monopolies, everywhere we see monopoly. The small traders, small people, small businesses are all getting eaten up. And there are only few handful of 1% of people owning the world wealth. What is this? These are sharks.
But that's not a good thing, sir.
That's what I'm telling. They are not spending. If they are not spending, that's a bad thing. But if they are getting the wealth and they are spending on the people and they're spending on the good thing, that's a good thing. Prophet ﷺ made a dua that you should get rich, live longer, collect more wealth, and spend in the path of Allah. That's what we should do. So if you are having a wealth, alhamdulillah, spend it in the cause of Allah for the betterment of the community. That's a good thing. Anyway, so let's go forward. Li'ilafi Quraish. So literally Quraish could mean little shark or little merchant. So if you don't like shark, Tazin ma'am, think of it as a merchant, little trader. That will be good. Little trader. Just
Yes,
think it
sir.
like little
Okay.
trader. Little trader.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So now let's look at the grammatical exploration of this quickly. That was the linguistic, language-wise. This is grammatical. Li-ilafi, as I already indicated, this is jar majroor, harf of jar, li, and the victim, the victim of it, ism of it, jar majroor as they call it as, li-ilafi. And when you check the word ilafi Quraishin, this is also bonded together. They are tied together in idafa. Idafa means possession, mudaf, mudafile. So this whole thing together is a big jar majroor, li-ilafi Quraishin. This is nothing. Jar majroor, li-ilafi, and ilafi Quraishin is mudaf ilay. Now, this li, which is a small part of this big ayah, It has a lot of interpretation. Scholars have debated this, that li could be of multiple things. One, they say that this li is the li of connection. Why? Because see how the surah starts. For the accustoming or for the convenience of the Quraysh. That's the surah is starting. Now, if somebody is reading from here, for the customization, for the accustom, for the benefit of surah, why? Why for? You don't say for. Well, that's because they say this is in connection with the previous surah. So in the previous surah, we say Allah destroyed the strong army of Abraha for the benefit of the Quraysh. Now it makes sense when you say like this. So that's what this is. Because this li is connected to previous surah. That's what some of the scholars say. So this li is li of connection. And some of the other scholars say, well, maybe, maybe not, but it's also could be that this li of amazement. So there is a harf li in Arabic grammar which is used to show amazement. Kya? Ye kaise? How? That is the li. So Allah is showing amazement. What? In spite of all these favors, these benefits you are taking from me, due to this house, you are still doing shirk. You are still involved in shirk. You still want to continue with the shirk. How come? So that is an amazement. That's a li of surprise, they say. The others say this is the li of reason. Due to this happened. Due to this happened. So multiple ways to interpret. Allahu Alam, we can look at all the ways. All of them fit well. And the basic translation of this would be for the convenience or accustomed security of the Quraysh. That could be one of the interpretation, rough translation of this. Okay, it is very difficult to translate Arabic into any other language. We can only get a rough idea. So for the convenience, accustomed security of the Quraysh. My God. So 1.5 hours. We have just finished one ayah. So let's quickly go to the second ayah and do the linguistic exploration, and then do the grammatical lesson. So the second ayah says that ilafihim rihlatash shita'i was-sayf. Now Allah already used the word ilaf, li ilafi. He is again using ilafihim. Why? Because sometimes we repeat the words not just for the sake of repetition or for lack of the words. No, we are trying to emphasize that word. Tumhare liye, sirf tumhare liye maine. So you repeat it twice in Urdu also. When you are upset, when you are trying to highlight something, sirf tumhare, sirf tum the isliye, tumhare liye. You repeat it. So we need to understand this is a real language, real communication going on, not just a very nice melodious. Always keep this in mind. So that's why this ilaf is called as tawqeed. One of the understanding is tawqeed. Tawqeed, to emphasize it, right? That's the meaning of repeating this word. The others say, no, this is khas, that was am, that ilaf was for am context, general context. This is khas. This is khas for Quraysh. You people. You are doing shit. You. Others I can understand, but you. Look at the favors that you are getting. So this is something special for them. That's what they say. The next word is rihla. That is an interesting word. Rihla. Rihla word. Okay. Now, this rihla, if you look up the translation, you will see that rihla means travel. That's what they say, for the travel. But what we forget at this location is rihla, yes, it means travel, but then there are so many words for travels in Arabic. Why this word? There are so many common words that everybody knows or they come across. Rihla is a very weird word. Hardly we come across. We have come across this rihla here. Why this word? When we investigate and do a deeper drilling, we realize that this is the most perfect word for travel here. The others don't make a very good 100% sense. Like there is a word safara, then there is a word siha. All of them mean travel. Okay, so it's also used in Qur'an also. Fasihu fil ardi. The word siyaha is used in Qur'an. Fasihu fil ardi. So travel in the earth. Allah is saying, Fasihu fil ardi. Go and roam in the earth. But that word would have not fit well here. So Allah didn't use it. There is a word sair, which we use in Urdu also. Sair pe nikal gaye. For walk, traveling, safar. Sair uske liye use hota hai. That could have been also used, because this also used in Quran. Kul siru fil ardi fanzuru. So go and roam and travel in the earth and then look. Fanzir. That's also used in Quran, but not here. Then there is a word hijra that is used. We have seen hijra. Hijrah can also would have been used, but hijrah would have also not fit here. Why? Because hijrah is something where you relocate, where you leave your things and go. That is hijrah. And that word is used in Quran, innal lazina amanu wal lazina hajaru. Indeed, those who believe and those who make hijrah. Those who make hijrat. Hijrat is different than normal traveling. So that's why hijrah is not used. But the word that is used is rehla. That is the word here. So why this word out of all these words? Safar ne use kiya, siha ne use kiya, sair ne use kiya, hijrah ne use kiya. They are all related to travel. Because rehla means traveling with a baggage, with luggage. That is rehla. Now what is this Quraysh? These are traders. Traders, you will never see that they are traveling with just a suitcase or just a small backpack. No, the real traders. Of course, we are talking about that time. So they had a lot of baggage, lot of luggage on the camels, and not one camel, camels. So you cannot miss a rihla. You can miss a person who is doing safar, who is doing sair, who is doing hijrah. You might miss him, but rihla not possible because he will be loaded. He will be loaded with things. So that's why the word rihla is used here, where other words would have not fit the description. Right? So the word choice is very specific. We need to understand that these are Allah's words, not a human being. Okay? So when you travel with a lot of baggage and luggage, rahal means baggage. Rahal, baggage, luggage. That's what is used here. Okay? So that's why this word is used here, because it means to travel with baggage, but still not attacked and looted. So they were traveling with the baggage, which means ऐसा नहीं है कि कुरैश जो चुप निकल गए, आंखों से बच गए, पता ही नहीं चला ये travel कर रहे हैं या trade कर रहे हैं. Lot of baggage there, but still they were not attacked because of Allah's favor. They were not attacked. They used to trade travels as per their wish. कहाँ जाना है? चलो इस तरफ सीरिया को जाते हैं, नहीं इस तरफ इस जाते हैं, नहीं अभी नहीं जाते, मैं थका हुआ, 2 दिन के बाद जाते हैं. So they can make their own schedules, unlike other tribes who had to work around all the difficult aspects of getting looted, ransomed, weather, and all those things. So these are the benefits that they had as compared to the other people. So here is the map again for your thing. Here the next word, if you can see, the is shitai and wasaif. Shitai and wasaif. So here is the Syria, here is the Yemen, and in between is the Makkah. The first word used is shitai here. The first word used is shitai here. Shitai means winter. Shitai is winter. So they used to go to Yemen in winter, since summer was very hot there, and they used to go to Syria in summer because the summer was very hot in Yemen. So they choosing this location to Yemen and to Syria, that is also has a significance here. Allah has mentioned the winter first, shitai, and summer second. This is not a consequence. Allah doesn't speak like you and me. Oh, he wants to say summer and winter, so he said winter and summer, just like we speak. No. If he said winter and summer, he has a reason for it. One of the reasons they say that, you see, even now also, in general speaking also, those who are doing agriculture, they know that the food is less grown, less cultivated, or less, there is a less food in the market in the winter and more food in the summer. In winter, the crops get shrink, they don't grow so much. There's not much crops there growing. So that's why the first concern of the Quraysh was food. They were starving. Safety was their concern, but the primary concern was their food. So he mentioned winter. You had less of food. I made the provision for you. You are traveling in the winter. Winter, they had to travel because there was scarcity of the food. In summer, there was enough, relatively more food. So summer is mentioned later. Their primary concern is food, and winter is mentioned first. So even the words are specific. And you see that rehla is a singular word. It's not a dual plural word. Rehla is a singular word. Even though they were traveling to Yemen down, and why? Because this used to be one travel. They used to go Syria, take it things, and then go to Yemen with a brief halt in between. So this was not two journeys. It was kind of a one journey. Bring the goods from there, sell it to them. Bring the goods from here, sell it to them. That's why the singular word is used rather than using dual word from Makkah to Syria and then Syria to Makkah or Makkah to Yemen. No, it is one. So they consider this travel as one travel. That's why singular word is used there. Okay. Um, as far as the grammatical exploration is concerned for this, ilafihim, again this is idafa, two words, ilaf and him, their ilaf, their convenience, their customs, right? So this is idafa, ilafihim. This is masdar, we know that ilaf, we just saw this is a masdar, ilaf is a masdar, and the translation will be their convenience, ilafihim. Then the next is a single unit. Even though you see three words, grammatically they are connected. Rihla is connected to shitai. Shitai is connected to saif with the word wa. So language-wise, this is one unit. There are three words, but one unit. Okay, and this is idafa. Mudaf mudafile. Rihla is light, no'al. Shitai is jar, and so is saif. Saifi, because it is joined with the verb. So this is mudafile. Okay, rihla would be travel off. Where is the off coming off? Because this is mudaf, of winter, travel of winter, and were, and then of summer. Saif is summer, travel of winter and travel of summer. And the rough translation of this will be for their convenience of travel in winter and in summer. Okay, in winter and in summer. That's ayah number 2. Go to ayah number 3. Let's do the quick linguistic exploration. Ayah number 3 says that فَلْيَعْبُدُوا رَبَّ هَذَا الْبَيْتِ. So fa is a harf of condition kind of a thing. Fa means so, then. So to fir aap jao, to fir aap to kind of a thing. So which means it is related to something earlier. So fa is, it has two roles. First reason, it could be that Allah is saying, forget about all the favors, at least worship me alone for this favor itself, for being custodian of Kaaba, for being in this position. At least worship for this aspect. فَلْيَعْبُدُوا رَبَّ هَذَا الْبَيْتِ. At least worship for this aspect that you are custodians of my house. So at least for this, जिसलिए वो fur use किया गया है. That could be one of the reason. Or other scholars say the fur is because of the previous surah. I saved you from that evil Abraha, from complete destruction. So now, at least now worship me alone. ऐसा भी हो सकता है. So both the possible, due to ilaf, okay, or due to the connection of the previous incident, it is possible that this could be used. Okay. Then the next is one unit, Rabba Hazal Bayt. That we come. Rabba Hazal Bayt. Now, if you see the construction here, you don't need the word Haza. Rabbal Bayt is enough. Master of the house. We all know what we are talking about who is this being referring to. Master of the house. You know, this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, nobody else. Everybody knows. Even the Quraysh knew it. Even the people who didn't accept Islam, they said that the house of the owner of this house is Allah. Why say Haza? Haza is not required there. But Allah doesn't say Rabbal Bayt, he says Rabba Hazal Bayt. We also do this in our normal communication. ये मोबाइल, ये मैंने लेके दिया है. मोबाइल मैंने लेके दिया है. ये मोबाइल, ये किताब, ये चीज. You see that? They point out why they are emphasizing that thing. At least for this, ye. So that's what Allah is doing here. That this house was built by Ibrahim as a sign of Tawheed. This house, and which you turned it into a place of shirk. This house, it was built by Ibrahim as a sign of monotheism. But what have you turned into? A central headquarters for the idols. That's why he's using the word Haza. This house, you have the superiority over other tribes because of this house. Again the word Haza. This house, इस घर की वजह से तुम्हारी जो इज्जत, तुम जो रुतबा हासिल है आज, सब लोग तुमको देख के इज्जत करते हैं, सलाम करते हैं, जो तुम्हारी तरफ कभी देखते भी नहीं थे, जो तुम्हारे पे हाथ नहीं डालते हैं. It's all because of this house. Master of this house. ये जो तुमको तिजारत, घर बैठे जो दौलत आ रही है, सब लोग यहाँ आ रहे हैं बिजनेस करने और साल में एक बार हज करने, और फिर इकोनॉमी ला रहे हैं, तुम्हारी इकोनॉमी में कंट्रीब्यूट कर रहे हैं, तुम्हारे को बिजनेस ला के दे रहे हैं, तुमको सेंट्रल मार्केट प्लेस बनाया कौन? दिस हाउस. It's all because of this house. That's why the word haza. It is not simple this. It is so many things are hidden behind this for Allah to use this word here. Makkah has become a central place because of this. Remove Kaaba from the equation. What? It becomes another city. What is so special about Makkah? If you remove Kaaba, it's all because of this house. Kaaba was the reason for destruction of Abraha. उस पे ये अटैक होता ही नहीं अगर वहां काबा नहीं होता. तो काबा को बचाने के लिए उसको डिस्ट्रॉय किया गया मिराकुलस तरीके से. एक आदमी जो हजारों हाथी लेके आया तुम्हारे ऊपर, he could have crushed you. Small birds on the top with the small pebbles kill them. This is the power of Allah because of the Kaaba. Because of the Kaaba. This area is so safe and secure. Nobody attacks you. Nobody comes and loots you. It's all because of the dua of Ibrahim Islam and this house. This house. That's why that haza is stressed there. Rabba hazal bayt. Ye ghar. Master of this house. It is my house. You are the custodians of it. Don't forget, it's not your house. It's not your milkiyat. But you're enjoying all the fruits and still not obeying me. So can you imagine what kind of anger it could be? What kind of upset the person will become when you see this kind of behavior from the other individual? After all these favors, this is what you're doing to me. Imagine you and me in the place. If somebody does this to us, we do so many favors to him or her, and this is what they respond. That's what is happening here at a much bigger scale. At a much bigger scale. So some of the scholars ask, why not just ask them to be thankful? Why is Allah asking them? See, even, and this is also third person. So let them worship the master. Let them, yeah, you're talking to them. But no, Allah doesn't want to talk to them. Allah wants to talk about them. He wants to distance. You don't want to relate him with them. Let them worship this house. Let them worship. Why did he say worship? Why not say, मैंने तुम्हारे पर इतने नियामतें दी हैं, शुक्र अदा करो. But he didn't say be thankful. He said worship. Why? Because when somebody worships, that one of the aspect of thankfulness is there. But when somebody is thankful, he may not be worshipping. And being thankful is very easy. Shukriya. Bahut acha aadmi. Bol di, that's it. But when you have to act, then that's where the real people are tested. When you have to do something, by sitting you can do Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, Wallahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah, we can do calm, comfortable sitting in an AC office. But when it has to go and do something, that's where real people are tested. And that's why Allah tells them worship. Not just show me your gratitude, worship. Show me physically act of worship. That's the reason he didn't say be thankful. Okay? Fine. Grammatical exploration. For. Okay, so. For means so. That's an element of condition. So we know that in the harf of light test we studied wal falli. For those of you who completed the fundamental course, wal falli. It means should. And for means so. So they should. That's how the translation comes. Fal yabudu. So they should worship. Where is this so should coming from? Fal. For means so, and the lam is should. So these are two letters, for and lam. And then yabudu, they worship. So the whole thing becomes so they should worship. This is the present tense. The actual word is yabuduna, but it has been made lightest. Why? Because of fal, the harf of lightest. Fal yabudu. So let them worship. They should worship. Who? Rabba hazal bayt. So this is giving detail. So this is maful. That's why Rabba is nasb, mansub. Rabba hazal bayt. And this is idafa. Haza is jar. Al bayti is also jar. Haza al bayti. This is ismu ishara musharun ilay. Okay. So Rabba hazal bayt. Master of, Lord of. Who? This house. So this is house. Al bayt. This house. We don't translate the al because this is ismu ishara musharun ilay. Al is making it a fragment. Not this is a house, but this house. Okay. And the rough translation of this would be so they should worship the master of this house. That's a linguistic exploration. Let's go to ayah number 4. Allah says, at amahum allazi at amahum min ju'im wa amanahum min khawf. Now here, before we go into this, there are two main words that are highlighted here. Ju'in and khawfin. Ju'in and khawfin. We'll also come to the order of this, but first look at the usage of this. These are supposed to be masdars. Okay, they are masdars of their respective verbs. Ju and khawf, masdars, ideas, concept. In Arabic grammar, the masdars, most of the time, or the expected form of usage of masdar is always with al. Arabic language says that if you are going to use masdar, there should be al with it. That's the norm. That's the norm. But here we see that the al is not used. It should have been minal ju'i wa minal khawfi. That's how it should have been. That's the expected. That would have been normal Arabic. Minal ju'i wa minal khawfi. Minal, we use that. Min ke saath al aata hai. But here use nahi kiya hua hai. So what is the effect? The linguistic effect here is when a masdar is used in this way, it means multiplied by 10 times or multiplied by 50 times. The meaning. Which means ju is related to hunger. Khawf is related to fear. But had Allah said minal ju'i wa minal khawfi, then it would be from the hunger and from the fear. But he didn't say that. He dropped the al. Whoa. When you drop the al, it becomes hyperbolic. I won't use the word exaggeration because it is similar meaning, but exaggeration could be false. You are speaking in an exaggerated way. It means ऐसा है नहीं, आप उसको बड़ा चढ़ा के बोल रहे हो. The correct word would be hyperbolic. Hyperbolic is you really multiply the meaning. जो भी उसका meaning है multiplied by 10. Like Rahim means mercy. Rahman, mercy multiplied by 1000 approximately or more than that. So similarly, when you use a masdar without al, Jew means hunger. No hunger. It means starvation. And that's what was happening to them. But when we read the translation, what the translation say? The one whom he fed from the hunger and the one whom he saved from the fear. The whole lubbe lubab, the crux of it is lost. नहीं भूखे नहीं थे वो, मर रहे थे. Starving they were. They were starving. और खौफ is not fear. Fear किसको बोलते हैं? कुछ तो दिखा मुझे रात में. That is the fear. कुछ तो बेड में मुझे लगा. Fear is terror. You see a dinosaur standing in front of you. That's terror. You see bombings aside you. That's terror. So they were not fearful. They were terrified. They were terrified. Imagine big elephant standing in front of you on the verge of destructing you. पांव के नीचे मसलने के लिए रेडी हैं, तबाह करते हुए आया है वो जगह, सब उसके बारे में बयान करते जा रहे हैं. अब्राहा आ रहा है, तबाह करते निकला हुआ है, सबको रौंद रहा है और आके आपके दरवाजे पे खड़ा हुआ है. What you will have a fear? You will have a terror. And that's what Allah is depicting here by using masdars without al. They were starving and they were terrified, not hungry and fearful. Okay, that's the difference. So this is hyperbolic and extreme. Hyperbolic and extreme, the word, the way it is used. And also Allah uses the word min, from starvation, from. No, it is not from. No, it's not from. He could have used the word Allah there, different Allah against the hunger and use the meaning, but he uses min. This min is different. This min is making it something that is taking it away from that stuff. So Allah not only gave them a substitution from their starvation, but he kept the starvation far, far away from them. After that, they never starved. After that, the starvation was kept far, far from them. They never faced it. Similarly, the terror, वो जो खौफ था, वो उनसे बहुत दूर रखा अल्लाह ने, कभी नजदीक नहीं लाया. जैसे कुछ लोगों के पास नेमतें होती हैं कि उनको कभी, बहुत से लोग हमारे हम आप हैं जिनको मतलब अल्लाह ताला ने हमको सुबह उठने के बाद ये फिक्र नहीं कि आज खाने में कुछ है या नहीं, या रात में इफ्तार में क्या खाएंगे. इनफैक्ट वी हैव द टेबल फुल ऑफ डिशेस, बट देयर आर पीपल हु आर थिंकिंग अबाउट टुमारो मॉर्निंग, राइट? What am I going to have for suhoor? What about the iftar? Am I going to get something good or the same khajur and that? But we are blessed. Hunger and terror is far, far away from all of us. This is what happened to the Quraysh. They were living in a place where they deserved to be hungry. Why? There is no cultivation, there is no food, and there is no water also, just a zamzam. And look at the people around, they are so much hostile. Attack is a norm. अटैक करना, मेरे पे, मैं बाहर गया था, मुझ पे अटैक हुआ. उस जमाने में अगर कोई बाहर जाके बोलता है अटैक, तो पीपल लाइक, ओके, हु अटैक दिस टाइम? अच्छा, इधर लगे. I mean, they are expecting you to get attacked. This was a norm, but these people were enjoying that. That's what should be in the back of our mind. And Allah says, "Allazi at'amahum min ju'in wa amanahum min khawf." The choice of word. Despite you being in this place, you never face the hunger. Despite you being surrounded by such people, you never were attacked. Despite, ये है उसका min का meaning. Despite, He kept you far, far away from it. That's the real translation or interpretation of this word. Again, this mean, I already explained it, that this is default, this hunger and state of this word order is very specific. Look at this. The word Jew and khawf are used in Surah Baqarah also. Allah says, "Wala nabluwannakum bishay'im minal khawfi wal ju." This happens in Quran many, many times. You will see that Allah uses these two words frequently. Suddenly in one location He has swapped the position. No, that is not just to change, just to have a different twist. No, there's a huge wisdom behind it. And we have seen that, our students know it. We discuss such things in our classes, where there's something which is going on always like this. Suddenly the sifa of the Allah is changed. Allah always says Ghafurur Rahim, and suddenly He says Rahimur Ghafur. Why is that? There is a reason. Here also, if you see, Surah Baqarah uses the same word, but khawf is first, Jew is second. For Quraysh, Jew is first, khawf is second. Why? Because this ayah of Surah Baqarah was revealed just around Badr, the battle of Badr. And in the battle, what is the most vital thing of the two? Fear or hunger? Fear. Hunger is also a thing, but that is secondary. Fear is the first thing. For Quraysh, food was the first thing. They were starving. So He uses the word food first. For the Sahabas, He uses khawf first. So remember, the choice, the location, the wording, the format, the syntax, everything is unique in Quran. Every ayah. It is not as easy and straightforward as it makes it look like when we study through the translation. No. Translation doesn't even carry 1% of the actual stuff that is going on behind it. There is so much stuff. You might have realized by now. It's 2 hours and you are unable to complete 4 ayahs. Right? So the order of the word, you look here. Allah uses 2 pairs here. Winter, summer. I showed you why He chose winter first. Because winter is related to starving. So He chose winter word first for Quraysh. And then summer. And then again, food is the primary concern of Quraysh. So food is mentioned first, security second. So there is a divine wisdom in choice of words, in placement of the words. That's what makes it the interesting, miraculous Quran. To make it so. So when we study Quran this way, we don't go back to studying. That's why I keep on saying this, that okay, I'm not a great fan of summary of Quran, summary of Surah Baqarah, summary of this surah. You can't summarize. One word, you can write a book on one word, the depth of those words. So it's injustice to read the summary of something, especially related to Quran. You should be doing deep study. Allah Himself says in Quran, why don't you do tadabbur, tafakkur? What is tadabbur, tafakkur? Right? It's a deep analysis, deep analytical ability you're supposed to do with Quran. Why don't you ponder? Why are you only reciting? Is it a recitation book? Is it supposed to be recited only on the new house, new shop, somebody dies? We have made this book something else. That's why we are getting hit everywhere. We are in the situation the way we are because we have lost the relation with the book. We are not giving its due. That's not a good thing. Anyway, so That's a linguistic exploration. Let's quickly do the grammatical exploration. I don't know where I am. Okay, so maybe we are almost maybe in 10 minutes we will wrap up. Okay, if you are wondering when it's going to stop, for those of you who are feeling sleepy or already asleep, are you still with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. Okay, good. So grammar student, allazi is a mausula. Yes, somebody saying something? Yes, Tazin ma'am. Okay, so she responded to my question. Anyway, so allazi is a mausula. We know that every ism mausula comes with a silatul mausul. Allazi. Allazi means the one who. So when you say the one who, even if you speak it like this, hey, the one who, and like the other person, what do you mean the one who? Tell me something more. What about the one who? So it's incomplete. Here also, that's called as ism mausula. So ism mausula should always come with its counterpart, silatul mausul. The one who came late. Okay, now the sentence is complete. Now it makes sense. The one who is in the red shirt. Okay. But if you just say the one who, all those who, incomplete. Okay, what all those who? All those who fast, and then blah blah. So allazi means the one who. Okay, where is the silatul mausul? The next part is the silatul mausul. The one who at'amahum, he fed them. Okay, so that's the ism mausula, grammatical explosion, the one who. The next whole thing is silatul mausul, which means always remember in grammar, ism mausula, silatul mausul together make up one unit of language or one function. Just ism mausula, just silatul mausul cannot convey the meaning. Both have to be together and they make up one function of it. So this is ism mausula and silatul mausul. The silatul mausul is the whole sentence. At'amahum min ju'in wa amanahum min khawf. When you say this whole thing is silatul mausul, which means they are all connected. You can't break in between. This is the one concept. So at'ama is a past tense. Is a past tense word. At'ama, he fed. Ta'am means food. At'ama, he fed. Whom? Them. Whom means them. He fed them. He provided food for them. This is past. He fed. This is Bab Aslama. At'ama. Ta'am means food. Ta'ama, food. He ate. At'ama, he made him eat. He gave him food. That's the Aslama family. The action goes to, it becomes transitive. So at'amahum. Hum is a pronoun. Hum means them. Okay, hum means them. It's an attached pronoun. So hum. He fed them. That is maful bihi. So that's a detail of the verb. He fed whom? Them. Okay, them is answering the question who. So it's a detail. He fed them. Okay, that's maful bihi. Then you come to min. This is harf of jar. Bata kaflam wa munzu muskala ruba hasha minada fi anala hatta ila. So that is a harf of one of the 17 harf of jar. Harf of jar makes the next ism jair. I don't jair zabar pe. Make it jar. Okay, the harf of jar makes, that's why ju'in, actually it was ju'un. Default is rafa, but because of min, it became ju'in. So that's a victim of it. That is a jar majroor. The harf of jar and its effect on ju'in, jar majroor. And this is the mutalliq bil fail. Why? Because this is a jumla failure starting with the verb atama, and jar majroor in jumla failure is called as mutalliq bil fail. That's a general label, and it has a specific label also in this jar majroor, right? Ju'in is an ism, that's a noun, that's why it is in jar state. And ju'in means hunger, and here it means starvation, because the way it is constructed, it's starvation, but the core meaning is hunger. Wa is a harfu ataf. Ataf means to join, the word that joins two parts. So harfu ataf, wa, and then again amana. This is another verb, just like at'ama, amana. Okay, it's a past tense. Whom is again them. So that is maful bihi. Again, Bab Aslama again. Amana has become amana. Hum is a pronoun again. Them, maful bihi. Okay, and then min again, harf of jar, same function. Repeated here. Against. Okay, that could be the normal translation. And ju'in, khawfin is the jar majroor. Min khawfin is jar majroor. Khawfin is the jar. Mutalliq bil fail again. So that would be the grammatical labeling for this ayah. I think so. Just a side note, amana, it has two meanings, right? Amana, it's also related to safety, aman, it's also related to believing, iman, दोनों का, right? दोनों मीनिंग निकलते हैं उसमें आमना में. तो मुझे पता कैसे चलेगा यहाँ पे कौन सा मीनिंग है, सेफ्टी का है या अमन का है, कौन सा है? वेल, व्हेन यू यूज इट एज अ बिलीविंग, देन यू विल यूजुअली सी आमना वर्ब फॉलोड बाय हर्फ जर बी. आमना के बाद अगर बी आ रहा है तो ये बिलीविंग की बात हो रही है. अगर आमना के बाद बी मिसिंग है, दिस इज टॉकिंग अबाउट सेफ्टी एंड सिक्योरिटी. अमन. हियर वी डोंट सी एनी बी. लाइक वी से आमन तू बिल्लाही, दिस इज आमना, आई बिलीव इन अल्लाह. सो बी यूज किया, तो बी यूज किया तो बिलीविंग. बी मिसिंग है, सिक्योरिटी एंड सेफ्टी. सेम वर्ड यूज, but this is how you figure out what it is, whether it is a protection or related to believing. So two meanings, protection and belief. uh, 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 Believers are those people who bil ghaibi, amanu bil ghaibi, those who believe. So amanu के बाद बी आया हुआ है, आमनतु बिल्लाहि, बी आ गया, ये बिलीविंग की निशानी है. या बी और बिलीविंग, बी नहीं है, प्रोटेक्शन की निशानी है, अमन की निशानी है. Okay, that's how you differentiate these two. Khawfin is an ism, we already told that it's a fear, but here it is a terror. I think that should okay, here's the rough translation. The one who fed them despite their transmission and provided them safety despite terror. Okay, we're coming to second last ayah, almost wrapping it up, inshallah. So here is the complete surah. لإلاف قريش إلافهم رحلة الشتاء والصيف فليعبدوا رب هذا البيت الذي أطعمهم من جوع وآمنهم من خوف. I'm sure next time you read it, it's not going to be the same surah that we have been reading right from the childhood. It's going to definitely put up some image, different image, some khushu in the salah when next time we read it, I'm sure. And every time you read this, remember this, all those things that you can. Your salah will have more khushu in it. You will have a deeper and rich understanding, a better experience of salah. Now, the reason I put this here is, look at this, the miracle, why we say Quran is a miracle, linguistic miracle, and very few people discuss this. All we read is the other stuff of Quran. But look at this, this is, the ayahs are constructed in such a way that they map to the physical location. Allah starts by mentioning his favor to Quraysh in the first line. See, ilafi Quraysh, ilafihim rihlata shita'i was-sayf. These are the favors he is mentioning. And then in the last line, again, he ends with the favors. Allazi at'amahum min ju'in wa amanahum min khawf. He is the one who saved them from starvation and from the terror. So both the lines, favors are mentioned. And in between those favors, what Allah is asking? Worship the master of this house because of this. Now this construction, map it to the actual map. Where is Syria? Top. Where is Yemen? Bottom. Where is Makkah? In the center. And Allah is talking about worshipping this house in the center. Isn't that miraculous? The top two are favors. Those are the business destinations. Those are the things that are saving them from enemies and providing food. So he mentioned above. And the middle is the Kaaba, and the middle part is the command to worship him alone. Subhanallah. That's the construction of the surah, mapping to the location of Makkah. One last thing, and I wrap it up, and I will let you go and sleep. Today is Sunday. Don't worry. Inshallah, Allah will reward you for this sacrifice. The surah, as I told you, even linguistically, those who are the masters of this language or at people at that time, they said that this is weird construction. Nobody speaks like this. You don't speak like this. This is abnormal. This is unorthodox. What they were expecting is something like this. This is how they were expecting the surah to be revealed. How? لِيَعْبُدُوا قُرَيْشٍ رَبَّ هَذَا الْبَيْتِ الَّذِي أَطْعَمَهُم مِّن جُوعٍ وَآمَنَهُم مِّن خَوْفٍ لِإِلَافٍ رِحْلَةَ الشِّتَاءِ وَالصَّيْفِ. Had the surah been revealed like this, that would be something they would be comfortable with. Okay, that's a normal. There are no emotions in this. There are no special construction in this. This is just the Arabic text. Hardly any highlights. And if you try to translate this, this is how it would translate. Quraysh should worship the master of this house, who fed them because of hunger and gave them safety against fear because of fear, for the purpose of giving them convenience during the winter and the summer travel. That's it. This is what was expected. But the actual words, we know that they are completely different. They are completely different. There are many linguistic benefits from this construction. If you see this, had the surah been revealed like this, then the first thing that would have happened is the first word, li ya'buda, which is related to worship, and the next word is Quraysh. They would be right next to each other. This is the deeper analysis of this surah. The words related to worship and Quraysh would be right one after the other, right next to each other. But the reality is they have nothing to do with the real worship. They are far, far away from Tawheed, far, far away from worshipping one Allah alone. So Allah does not want even the word of worship to be associated with Quraysh. तुम इसके लायक ही भी नहीं हो कि मैं ये वर्ड तुम्हारे बाजू में पेश करूं कुरान में और दोनों को साथ में लिखूं. नहीं. In the actual surah, the words are way apart, nowhere near to Quraysh, because of the special construction. This much, to this level, Allah is upset with them, that He does not even favor putting that word next to them. So, with this surah, Allah is not only teaching Quraysh, but to all of us, that we all have been favored in some or the way, even if we accept it or not. Many a times we don't see the favor. See, this is the most deadly thing, I think. Whenever we stop seeing the blessings as blessings, when we stop seeing the blessings as blessings, then we stop being gratitude. Then we stop showing gratitude. Why? Because we are not seeing the ne'mat as ne'mat. It has become norm. ये नॉर्मल है. अभी हमारे बच्चे हैं, ये उठते हैं, खाना खाते हैं, सोते हैं, अच्छे कपड़े पहनते हैं, बाहर जाते हैं, मोबाइल लेते हैं, जो चाहिए कुछ चाहिए ऑर्डर भी कर लेते हैं, पापा को बोल देते हैं. आजकल तो बच्चों के पास क्यूआर कोड भी है, वो भी कर ले, पापा इधर ये मैंने क्यूआर कोड भेजा है. They are so used to this life. They think that on mobile, when they press this button and that thing get delivered in 3 hours, that's how it happens. They don't understand what is happening behind it. When the child clicks that button, that command goes to father's account, which he is not seeing. And then he deducts his money, it goes to the trader, and then the trader sends it. But to their eyes, what they see is, buy it, bought it. So they think that's how it is, that's how the life is. For those people who, if I talk about myself, I realize what type of environment we have grown up. So when we used to get, when my mom sometimes used to use 25 paisa used to be a very weighty coin, like 10 normal coins and 125. So it used to feel very heavy in the pocket sometimes. And I used to always like, okay, I have 25 paisa today. That's how we grew up. But if I talk about my own kids, it's different. So this is not a good sign. We should be looking the favors and the blessings as blessings. We should be always conscious of this fact. The moment we become accustomed to this, that's it. As I said, Quraysh were like, subah utte hi Kaaba dikha, ghum rahe hain Kaaba azum hai, idhar hai Kaaba. So the consciousness of Kaaba went away. That this is a central location, this is Allah's house, we are the custodians of it. All that we have today is because of this. They lost it because of the psychology. So you and me also, most of the blessings we are not realizing, we are complaining. Most of the people are complaining about it. They don't realize when they compare. We should always compare and look people who are below us, not above us. If you start comparing yourself to Ambanis and Adadans, you will never be happy. You will never be happy. You should look at the people who are living under the bridge. The real destitute people. I'm not talking about the people who are pretending to be poor, especially in this season of Ramadan and all. I'm talking about the real destitute people. The mother, single mother. Those are the people. You should look forward and see what you have and what we don't have. Then only we will be grateful. So this surah is not about Quraysh. I think we should replace in bracket all of us. If we don't do this, we are worse than Quraysh. See, Quraysh had been given so much privilege, but they failed to realize every privilege comes with a responsibility. When your boss gives you a promotion, then in the behind scene, he has also increased your responsibility. No promotion comes without responsibility. They were given so much privileges, they were living next to Kaaba. They were enjoying the complete protection from Allah directly. So much high privilege. They were having Allah's protection. They were risk was provided. People were coming and giving them risk. They were coming to their place and giving business. That was the business hub. But what did they do? Did they fulfill what they were supposed to do? No, they didn't fulfill it. On the contrary, they messed it up. Forget about worshipping one Allah. They made it the headquarters and the central location for all the books. And they were using their authority only for the political and economical purpose. That we are Quraysh. Respect us, fear us, and look at us with dignity. That's it. And what are you supposed to do? No, we are not supposed to do anything. So may Allah protect all of us. This is a surah. We should be very careful. We should be constantly conscious of our blessings. That's the surah about. Because as I said, the surahs are connected. So it is connected to Surah Fil with the dua of the Ibrahim and the destruction of Abrah. In the next surah, you will see that is connected. Allah is directly talking to them and opening up all their offenses that they are doing, all the crimes that they are doing against the orphans, against the salah, the type of salah they are offering, right? All those are opened in the next surah. So that's how it is connected. Here he didn't highlight those. He only talked, hey, your two prime responsibilities, provisions and security I have given you. You are not using it correctly. And then he highlights it. So that's how it is connected to the next surah. So with that, I think that is a good study for this small surah, comparing the time that we took, more than 2 hours. And may Allah bless this gathering. I hope you all benefited, if not completely, at least something got added to our information about this surah, especially the beauty of the language, the richness of the language, and the importance of the study of Arabic language. Mind you, if you are not mindful about Arabic language, you don't understand the importance of it, you are not going to highlight it to your kids. So at least we should arm ourselves so that we can pass on this to the kids, and the kids can pass on to the other kids. But if it stops at us, there's a very less chance that our kids will do the same that we are expecting from them. Okay, with that, I end the session. If you have any question, please shoot it. Nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Any questions? Yes, no, maybe?
No, sir, but it was really
No, sir.
helpful.
No, sir.
Jazakallahu khairan kaseera.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Only one request, two requests. Make dua, and please, when I upload the video, put your comment so that people read the comment and they also benefit from this. Who knows, out of 100 people, if one get guided, we have achieved our mission. So don't forget to comment on the video once I upload it, and make dua for all of us. Okay? Assalamu alaikum.
Yes.
Jazakallah khair.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi.
Walaikum assalam.